We were just like talking about this guy Anthony, the timepiece gentleman on TikTok. Like,
Anthony
dude
Farrer.
got caught up in like $5 million of debt selling watches.
Oh,
where he would
really?
take like watches as consignment, but then not pay back the person whose
Oh,
watch it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Have you seen or like experienced being in this space, like anything like crazy? Like, obviously not for you, but just like seeing it to had happened to other people.
I mean, I've heard insane stories, and a lot of people will like do that. Like, they'll try not to pay their vendors. Like I said, like some people will give you terms on stuff, and they'll like support you and be like, here, take this, and like you can get it on a memo where you can put it in your case, and they'll be like, pay me when you sell it, but you have like 6 months to sell it. So that people will just like never call back again. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard like dealing with vendors, they're like, I want the money up front, this and that, and I'm like, we don't do that, I need terms. And then they're like, I've heard stories of people just like taking stuff and just never calling people back again, which is like pretty insane to me, because that would be pretty terrible if you like basically supported someone to help them out to sell something and be like, here's, take money out of your pocket to pay for it, but then you never get it back, because that would suck. You know what I mean? That's like the worst thing ever. So that's probably like the most insane stuff I've heard. I've heard people like not pay back a couple $100,000, you know, like something nuts, which is
Dude's
like
going on 5 million.
Yeah, that's insane to me.
We should, Jack.
I can't believe they let him get that far.
A clip for this.
Yeah. For what do you mean?
For like timepiece gentlemen, because it's just like popping on social media right now.
I haven't heard about it yet. I'm
Dude,
surprised.
So this guy's always been kind of like a sketchball. Have you guys heard of this? Yeah. So like he's always been kind of like a sketchball, and then he's got like a bunch of DUIs. He had a falling out with his business partner in Dallas, and he moved out to LA. And he wanted to be like the ice box for watches, and then he rented out this ridiculous penthouse where somebody could.
He was spending $90K a month in LA on a penthouse.
That is from where? Where do you get that money
so
from?
That's what everybody was saying. They were saying that now like everybody should have realized it, because in the watch and the jewelry industry, I guess the margins are pretty thin. And
right, exactly.
So you're kind of really scraping by, and nobody who's just slinging watches out of a briefcase has enough money to pay $1 million in rent a year alone. Driving a Lambo, having Ducatis.
Right.
And then
that's crazy. That's nuts.
Basically, he was, people would consign the watches. He wouldn't pay them out. He would be sending those watches to other people as favors, to get them off his back. But he was really just stealing a watch from somebody. So.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even hear about that. I got to look that up now.
Yeah, no, you have to.
Definitely.
Yeah. There's been a bunch of YouTube videos on it, and now he's been doing like how I'm repaying $5 million in debt every single day.
He just turns it into more content.
He's paid back $12,000 so far, so he's making his
back. Slowly. That's insane. That's crazy. $5 million. I wouldn't be able to I don't know, man. That's tough. That's different.
Has anybody ever come in with a large amount of cash paying for jewelry? Not really knowing where it came from.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. There's always you always have that fair share of people. You don't ask questions though. You just do right by people, hook them up, take care of them, and just kind of appreciate that they're coming to me anyway. But yeah, absolutely. That happens a lot, especially in jewelry. You know what I mean? You have all types of clients, all different types of people. And then when came in, that was funny. How he just came in, and I'm sitting there, I'm counting $20 bills, and I forget how much money it was. It was $40,000 or something like that. I'm sitting there one by one with 20s. My dad just takes it out of my hand and grabs a scale, starts weighing the money, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Money has a weight to it." And kind of explained that to me, and I remember laughing wicked hard, because I had 3 people back there counting money with me, trying to count through $40,000. I forget how much it was. It was
I think it was 40, because he got the Batman and the Wimbledon.
Yeah, he got the Wimbledon, the Batman. He recently just got that Datejust too.
That one's beautiful too.
Yeah, I love that one. That one's one of my favorites. But I remember doing that, and that was funny. And my dad kind of showed me that, where you could just kind of weigh money. And I didn't even know that was a thing.
Every bill is a gram.
Yeah, right. And I didn't know that. He just started throwing them on there, and then he was like, "These are good. These are good. These are good." And it ended up being perfect. But that was funny. That was a different experience. Definitely a big learning experience. Because you don't think money. Oh, you're just gonna weigh it. You know what I mean? So that was I was thrown off by that. That was funny.